This is a Willie Lynch video. I want to make this video specifically for Willie Lynch, the making of a slave. He has the blonde hair and the blue eyes on the picture. I have it here on paper, and I have it here on my iPad just because I lost a sheet of paper. This this is to reverse the roles of the African man and the African woman, to make the African man weak and to make the African woman strong. I'm going to start, this is from the first paragraph. I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee that if every one of you install this correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My methods are simple. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves. I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. We have to focus on age, and we have to focus on color and attitude. I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than respect or admiration. If carried on, this can be self-taught for generations over 100 or maybe 1,000 years. Don't forget, this is what he says, don't forget, you must pitch old black males versus the young black males. The young black males against the old black males. You must use dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use female versus male, and male versus female. You must also have white servants and overseers who distrust all blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain distrustful. Let's make a slave. So they consider our Negro males to be wildlife. What they consider wildlife is someone who wants to be free and yearns for that freedom. So, since they yearn for that freedom, we have to, this is his words, keep the body, take the mind. In other words, break the will to resist. Now the breaking process is the same for both the horse and the nigger, only slightly varying in degrees. But as we said before, there is an art in long-range economic planning. You must keep your eyes and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. A brief discourage in offspring and development will shed light on the key to sound economics principles. Pay little attention to the generations of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. Therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development. And when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you. But her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. For example, take the case of a wild stud horse, a female horse and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two captured nigger males in the natural state, a pregnant nigger woman with her infant offspring. Take the stud horse, break him from limited contentment. Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort. Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. Train the female horse whereby she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. And when it comes to breaking the civilized nigger, use the same process, but vary the degrees and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most restless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining niggers, the females and the nigger infant. Tar and feather him, tie each leg to a different horse faced in opposite directions. Set him afire and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining niggas. The next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining niggas, males, to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill him, but put the fear of God in him, for he can be used for future breeding. This is, now we focus on the breaking process of the African woman. Now that the black woman has been left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal causes her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independency, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles for fear of the young male's life. She will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the nigger behind and scared. This is a perfect situation of sound sleep and economics. Before the breaking process, we had to be alerted on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for our frozen fear his for out of frozen fear his woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her early slave molding process. He is a good tool, now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age. By the time a nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken and ready for a long life of sound and efficient work and the reproduction of unit of good labor force. Continually through the breaking civilization savage niggas. By throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independency, by killing the protective male image, and by creating a submissive, dependent mind of the nigger male slave. We have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own axis forever, unless a phenomenal occurs and we shift the position of males and female slaves. We show what we mean by example. Take the cases of two economic slave units and examine them close. The last part of the video is the controlled language. Controlled language, it says it right here. This is last chapter, controlled language. We must completely annihilate the mother tongue. Being a fool is one of the basic ingredients of any incident to maintaining the slavery system. For example, if you told a slave that he must perform in getting our crops, and he knows the language well, he will know that our crops didn't mean our crops, and the slavery system will break down. But he will relate on the basis of our crops really meant. So you have to be careful in setting up the new language. This is the new language. All this God is dog and love is evolved and life is evil. All this goes hand in hand. Write words down on your own. Do a list of words. The main words that you use, your children use, the whole shebang. Write a list of them down and see if you can flip any of those words. If you can flip any of those words to get another meaning or to get another word, those are the words we do not want to use anymore, and we have to X out our vocabulary. Thank you.